Embryonic stem cell research seems to be an area of science that is very difficult to completely agree or disagree with. It might be a topic that is about as, if not more, controversial than the topic of abortion. As if it weren't complicated enough, the question of government funding is added. The idea of using government funding to pay for research involving stem cells causes protest among many. In order to draw a conclusion, one must look into exactly what embryonic stem cell research consists of. Stem cell research can be classified into two types: embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells. Embryonic stem cells come directly from embryos, the earliest stage of life, and this is one of the many reasons why it is a problem. Adult stem cells exist in adults as a way for the body to attempt to regenerate damaged cells. For example, blood stem cells, which are found in bone marrow. Most embryonic stem cells are derived from embryos that develop from eggs that have been fertilized in vitro and then donated for research purposes with informed consent of the donors. This proves that using embryonic stem cell research as a form of aborting an unwanted pregnancy is false. In fact, by the time a woman realizes she is pregnant, the egg is past the point of development in which it can be used in embryonic stem cell research. Stem cells, embryonic or adult, are capable of dividing and renewing themselves for long periods, and with this, they are able to renew the human body as a person lives every day. Embryonic stem cells are not specialized, therefore they can renew any cell in the human body. Adult stem cells, on the other hand, are specialized. They can only renew certain cells. Tissues where adult stem cells have been found include the brain, muscle, skin, and bone. It is also important to realize that stem cell research is not an area of study that is new. Bone marrow transplants have been conducted for over 20 years, and the basis for this type of transplant is the use of adult stem cells. Recently, scientists have discovered a way to create induced pluripotent stem cells. In simplest terms, these cells are adult stem cells that can act like embryonic stem cells. This also means that the research can be conducted using adult stem cells, like those found in bone marrow or even in white blood cells, without having to destroy life in any way. Induced pluripotent stem cells are adult cells that have been genetically reprogrammed to an embryonic stem cell-like state, and eventually be used to find cures to everything from heart disease to neurological diseases. It is not known if the differences between actual embryonic stem cells and induced pluripotent stem cells are very significant in terms of research. However, it is known that they demonstrate important characteristics of pluripotent stem cells, including expressing stem cell markers. Although embryonic stem cell research is full of possibilities that would help most in some way or another, using public funding for such a controversial topic might not be the best idea. Stem cells are an area that is very new and most do not understand. It is easier for people to protest against the use of money in this area than it is to educate and draw their own conclusions. A perfect example of how embryonic stem cell research can continue without relying on public funding or government funding is the New York Stem Cell Foundation. This organization focuses on finding ways to cure diseases using stem cells. However, it is a nonpartisan, non-profit organization funded primarily through private philanthropy, not necessarily government funding. New York Stem Cell Foundation scientists conduct cutting-edge stem cell research in an independent, state-of-the-art laboratory, and they collaborate with scientists at leading academic and medical institutions worldwide. If the New York Stem Cell Foundation can try to find better ways of saving lives through stem cells with private funding, so can